Hi and welcome back to my channel, and in this video we're going to be discussing and looking at the number one secret tool that successful magicians have in their arsenal that particularly a lot of beginners are not aware of, and that tool is meditation. Meditation is the key to all successful magic and rituals and magic work basically. So what is meditation? Now, a lot of people have a misconception that meditation is hard and it is optional, and it really is not the case. Meditation is basically bringing yourself into the present. Concentrating on the breath is a very good way of doing that. And it's about taking control of the mind. Now, what a lot of people from my experience struggle with at first is those first few meditations of real, true silence, of just concentrating on the breath, being in the present. They realize that their mind is basically just completely out of control, and they struggle and struggle. They feel it's hopeless. I've heard so many people say that they just can't meditate. Meditation's not for them. And I think it's more just that the understanding of what meditation actually is not really understood by a lot of people. I always suggest as sort of a beginner exercise is try and meditate for 1 minute or even 30 seconds. You can meditate outside. You can meditate whilst you wait to cross the road. You've pressed the button. You know it's going to be 30 seconds to a minute. You can keep your eyes open. Obviously, don't stand there with your eyes closed, but you can just bring yourself back into the present by just concentrating on the breath whilst waiting to cross the road. You can do it while washing up. You can do it while sat in the bath or stood up in the shower. You can also use guided meditation. So I'll talk about Sam Harris a bit more later, but I will put a link to his app in the description of this video. Sam Harris has basically an app where he does 10-minute guided meditations. It's a 30-day program, I believe. And that was actually the breakthrough for me, was using that app. I was always struggling with meditation until I actually started using Sam Harris's app. But let me just come back to sort of meditation overall. So if you think about what magic is, which is to use your mind, your thoughts, your words to control not just yourself but also the external, then if, for example, you're doing, say, a money meditation, a money spell, and the results are just not coming, but during that 5 minutes or 10 minutes that you're sat there, your mind is constantly drifting, you're thinking about other things, you're not in control of your mind basically, you can't focus on just this one thing, then it's very likely that your magic will fail. If you're not in control of your own mind, your magic just will not work. And that is basically what meditation is. You are just taking control of your mind. In that present moment, if you give yourself 5 minutes just to sit on the sofa, close your eyes and just focus on the present, then what you're doing is you're removing all of the thoughts, whether it's subconscious or conscious, stress about work, about your landlord, about what you're going to eat for dinner. Is your partner going to be angry because you haven't washed up? All of these sort of daily things that we all go through. In that 5 minutes or 10 minutes or even 30 seconds, you're removing that. You're taking control of your mind and just focusing on the present. So, as Jason Miller says, and I'm going to get the quote as correct as possible, but in his rather fantastic book, Consulting with Spirits, he says the recognition of your own thoughts over a long period helps you distinguish between your imagination and communication with spirits. So just think about that. If you are unable to meditate, you're unable to control your mind and be in the present and recognize your own thoughts, if you cannot do any of those things, then if you're trying to do an invocation with, again, let's say King Paimon, then how are you going to know if it's been successful or not? How are you going to know if it's not just your own thoughts, your own subconscious, you're talking to yourself? How are you going to know any of those things without having that ability to distinguish, because you've experienced your own thoughts? You've experienced controlling your mind. You've experienced those thoughts coming in, and then, as we often do with meditation, we don't push them away. We focus on them, we acknowledge them, and we let them just drift away. If you haven't done any of those things, then yes, you're going to really struggle. So the number one tool that all magicians, all witches, all people that work within the magic realm, that we all have where our magic is successful, is meditation. Now, let me just quickly come back to that Sam Harris app. So I'm only mentioning it just because I've recommended it to many people, and the feedback I've got has always been very, very successful, and they've made leaps and bounds with meditation, and they've actually started to enjoy it, and it's just become part of their daily life. And that's really what happened with me as well. I would not meditate for a week and then try and do an hour in one go, and would just get frustrated, would get restless, distracted. I'd stop and have a cigarette because it just felt hopeless, basically. So with his app, he has this really, really great system of, you get the 30-day trial period for free, obviously, but he's got this subscription sort of system where you have access to, I think it's pretty much daily meditations. It's updated very regularly, and there's things like walking meditations, meditations with your eyes open. There's sort of challenges on there. Now what he does is, if you say can't afford the app, if there's some financial restraints that are holding you back, he doesn't want that to deny you access to the meditation app that he has. So you just send an email and no questions asked, they will give you a 12-month subscription. Simple as that, which is absolutely incredible and so rare nowadays. But he genuinely isn't particularly about the money. He does make a lot of money, I'm sure, but his focus is to help people, and that's very admirable. So that's why I'm recommending Sam Harris so much. So I hope that video, this video even, sorry, I'm currently getting over quite a severe flu, so my as you can probably hear, my throat's not particularly comfortable, and my nose is still suffering a bit as well, but I hope you've been able to understand me. Yes, I hope that you enjoy this video. Please like, subscribe, comment. It really does help, and it's really appreciated. And if you are interested in a personal consultation or any spell work or any readings, then please contact me at the email address below.